Today, many scientists suggest that the process of mutation is something that can explain the origin of new species, new features in organisms, new behaviors in organisms. I don't necessarily accept that. I think it's been shown that most mutations are not helpful for the survival of an organism. Most mutations are either neutral, they produce no effect, or they produce some damaging effect. And actually, the cell has very complex mechanisms for removing mutations and deleting them and restructuring to remove the effect of the mutation. That's a very developed feature of the genetic structure of organisms. So I don't see how one can just claim that mutations are responsible for everything, the production of so many new, wonderful, complex forms, when it's been shown that most mutations are either neutral or damaging to the organism. If somebody wants to claim that mutations are responsible for complex new features of organisms, I think they have to specify exactly what those mutations were. And we have to remember that all that a gene does is tell a cell how to produce a protein. So we would have to show what mutation took place, what protein was produced at what stage in the embryological development of an organism, and we don't find any such explanations. So I don't object if somebody thinks that this mutation process is the ultimate explanation for the production of new species, new organic structures, new behaviors in organisms. I don't object if somebody believes that's what happened, because I respect intellectual freedom. But I think those that are proposing that have to go much further than simply asserting that these things happened, that they must have happened. They have to go further and explain exactly what mutations are responsible for the production of specific behaviors and specific features of organisms. And not only that, since they're claiming that all features of a species are the result of such things, they would have to show that. And in my study of the scientific literature, I've not seen any such explanations. I've simply seen assertions that this process has resulted somehow or other in the production of these new species and new features in organisms and new behaviors in organisms. I've seen that they have perhaps some small indications of certain genetic mutations being connected with certain features of organisms, but mostly those studies show how existing features of organisms have been damaged or removed from an organism by removal of a certain part of the genome by mutation or deletion. What I haven't seen is how complex features, new features of organisms have been produced in a step-by-step way by specifying exactly what mutations or changes in the genome took place. Mutation is not the only way that scientists think that the genome can be changed. They believe, and there are also processes of gene duplication and transposition. Mutation is only one of the modifications of the genome that they're talking about. But whether we're talking about just mutation or other ways in which the genome can change, I think they still have to specify exactly what changes in the genome have taken place in order to produce a specific new feature of an organism or a specific new behavior or instinctual pattern.